All right, ladies and gentlemen, time for another prime time edition of NASCAR Thunder 2004 on the channel. And this evening, we have for you another six races on season number 5. So, with this being our fifth season, coming off the championship, of course, in the last season of the career mode, our fourth season overall, and trying to top that with not only going back to back, but trying to have better statistics at each statistical category. It's going to be tough. 31 top 10s is going to be really tough to beat. We've already had two races where we didn't finish in the top 10, so that means we can only have three races the rest of the season of not top 10 finishes to match that. I think this first race at Dover should be an easy race for us to get out, get a win, qualified on the pole. We ended up winning the fall race here. I did dominate the spring race at Dover last season, but did not get the win to account for it. So let's just keep the car clean. Let's get the win in this race. That'll give us a new trophy on the career mode, and we'll now have both Dover trophies at the Monster Mile, so that would be big. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content if you haven't already. And let's get into tonight's stream as we look for our 10th win of the season already. Should be a fun one. Yeah, the Monster Mile, Pocono, and Michigan is going to be interesting on this stream. Those are the two races I'm not that confident about. Um, I'm confident I will have the speed, at least at Pocono. Michigan is hit or miss. We haven't really had race winning speed ever at Michigan. I qualified on the pole there in the fall race, or the second summer race last season, but we still finished in sixth. So, granted, it was because of a slow pit stop. Probably would have had a top three, but still wouldn't have won. I think I finished like fifth, fourth or fifth in the first race there last year with no pit stop issue, but we just didn't have as much speed as we did the second race. So, yeah, I mean, that's going to be a big one. That's the one I have circled on the stream because not only have it won at Michigan before, but it's my home track. So it stinks that my home track is the one I just can't seem to figure out. That and Bristol, for whatever reason, just can't seem to find myself in a good position to win those races. But I think we're going to have a pretty good race going for ourselves out here at Dover for race number 1. JoJo, thanks for tuning in. Let's go Phillies. I'll tell you what, I'm a Detroit Tigers fan, but I'm kind of pulling for the Phillies. I always liked Bryce Harper. He's kind of been my favorite player that hasn't played for the Tigers over the last, like, right around a decade or so. So, yeah, I've always liked Bryce Harper. Even back when he played for the Nats. It was a very close pole award, by the way. I only qualified on the pole by 2/1000ths of a second, so really going to be banking on having some long run speed. I didn't feel like I really messed my qualifying lap up much, but hopefully we do better in the race. And look at that, 2/1000ths of a second over this S. Smith guy, the 145, one of the fantasy drivers. Ryan Newman, Jeff Gordon starting behind us, followed by Dale Jr., Johnny Benson. I see Ricky Craven in 7th again. Tony Stewart comes into this race in the points lead. Not by much. If I remember correctly, I think he has a 3-point lead. So Stewart's got a 3-point lead over us to start tonight's stream. And we'll be halfway through this season when we get through tonight's 6 races. All right, green, 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 let's go. Early and often. Got a great launch. That was like a perfect launch. I mean, I'm easily clear off turn 2. I don't get launches like that off the start like ever. That was perfect. Know I'm going to have good race winning speed. Just got to take care of it. If it feels like I'm going to hit the wall, get out of the gas. It's well worth it. So that's how I wrecked last season. I hit the wall one time, and then I got stuck to it, and I couldn't get off of it, and I wrecked. Otherwise, we probably would have swept both Dover races last season, honestly. It was one of the 2 or 3 wins that I threw away myself. I think I threw away like 2 or 3 of them as well last season. See, like right there, I had to lift. That I didn't get all the way to the bottom of the racetrack, and I still tried to get back into the gas in a similar spot. On fresh tires, and kind of get away with that if it cuts, but it never cut in the center of the corner to get back down to the inside in the middle. I will say Ryan Newman's kind of hanging right there with me for right now. Only got about a 6/10 of a second lead. So I'm not going to want to run this far past the halfway point. We did win the last 3 races of the stream yesterday, the last 2 points races specifically, Richmond and then the Coke 600, but I also won the All-Star race on a last lap pass as well. So that's kind of where we leave off on the season. And again, looking for win number 10. The only race I didn't win yesterday of the 6 points races was at California, where I ended up blowing an engine while leading. It started smoking on me with like 6 to go, and I made it to 2 to go, and it gave out. So it was tough. I'm trying to limp it home for a win, and we dominated that race. Won all but 3 laps, and still didn't win it. So that's another reason why Michigan might be a little bit on the tough side. It's going to depend on how much speed we have, or how much I'm going to be able to try to push it. 1.3 second lead here. Right front wearing out a little bit. Somebody blowing up. Is that Tony Stewart? No, it's Matt Kenseth. For a second, I thought it was an orange car, and then I got closer and realized it was the DeWalt colors. And it was a false alarm. I think a big key to this season and why I'm capitalizing on more wins than what I did earlier last year, I've definitely been a lot smarter driving. Now, the 600, I was not smart off the start, but I cleaned it up in the second half of the race and we still ended up getting the win. I think I still led the most laps by like 3 laps in that race, too. A little scrape off the wall. Didn't quite lift in time there. And right around lap 13, 14, it always gets a little tight on me here. Still doing good. Almost halfway through this first race already. I don't see Tony Stewart in the top 5 yet, so that's good. I know he qualified 7th. See one lap car up here. I'm not sure if we're going to catch him before we get into green flag pit stops or not, though. 101 car. So I did catch him right before pit stops. Bigger slide getting into 1 and 2 there. Yeah, I'm not going to pit unless I have quite a bit of traffic in front of me, to be completely honest. Which right now there's nothing. I was probably going to start catching cars in another lap or two, but most of them at the back of the pack pitted already. So I have a ton of cars with fresher tires right around me. No sense of me giving up the clean air, because I know once I get off of pit road, we're going to have to pretty much deal with lap traffic the rest of the race after that. Already clinched the most laps led. So 10 bonus points for that. 5.1 seconds ahead of Newman. Some of the other cars in the top 5 pitted, but Newman, who's been in second place the whole time, is not. That might be Tony Stewart up there. Newman's pitted finally. Still got to stay out. It was like 5 seconds ahead of Newman. So we'll pit this time by. So we'll take on our 4 tires and top off on fuel this time. Clean stop. All right, 4 tires and gas, no adjustments. Clean start to the race. Jeff Gordon cycled to second ahead of Ryan Newman. Billy Kramer, thank you for tuning in. Michael Turner, also welcome to the stream. World of Outlaws Dirt Racing, your first World of Outlaws game. Is that the title of the iRacing one that came out last winter? All right, holding on to the lead. Even being the last car to pit, still out ahead of Newman and the rest of the field. A lot of pack of cars, though, right behind Newman. And honestly, once I get by the 41, still relatively clean air for my sake. Sliding quite a bit getting into the corner. There was a lot heavier on the brakes because I wasn't sure if the 41 was going to cut all the way to the bottom or not. Like a little bit more room. All right, clean pass. It's only an 1/8 of a second lead. But yeah, this will be the first race all season we're going to lead every lap. Assuming we stay green to the end. I don't think Newman's catching me. I've got a couple lap pressure tires in him. I had a faster car before the pit stop, so probably still going to have a faster car post pit stops. 2/10 quicker than in that last lap. Oh, man, don't do that. Jesus. Flip the apron. It came out in September last year? I didn't realize it was that long ago already. I didn't realize that game's been out for over a year. I was thinking it came out in the winter, from what I remembered, but that's obviously not correct. That's wild. The fact that I still haven't even played it yet, that's kind of sad. Definitely going to have to get it for this winter. Kenny Wallace isn't mad enough to make contact with us. 10 laps to go. All right. Pretty good with knowing about where I need to set myself up to make passes on these cars, just based off of how the car feels on the racetrack. So it's led me to making clean passes even when I'm sliding. I kind of know when it's gonna slide, where I push it both ends of the racetrack. So I could be wary of that going into the corner. Five to go. So Jamie McMurray won't hit me. That's good. Pass him cleanly. Honestly, I feel like McMurray's regressed from that first season. That first season, he was like 15th in points. I don't know that he's finished top 15 in points ever since rookie year, either year one or year two. I don't even know that he's won a race yet, to be completely honest. He won the Rookie of the Year in our 03 season, too. Oh, boy. Contact with the 45. Occupying the bottom. All right, there we go. Now we're clear. 2 to go. Time slide there. One lap remaining. Going to go wire to wire from the pole. Lead every lap at Dover. It'll be the first race this season. We've gone wire to wire of our 10 wins. Let's go. Domination right there. That's a good start to the stream. Yeah! All right. Waiting on prices to drop to get a PlayStation Plus subscription. I don't know that price is going to drop any. I feel like it kind of slowly increases. Inflation. I don't expect that price to come down anytime soon. Unless you get like a random deal for 1 month or whatever around the holidays. All right, new trophy. I only won the Dover Spring Race. The fact that it's going to take till season 6 for some of these races we haven't won yet, crazy. We led every lap, so we kept everybody from getting 5 bonus points. And Tony Stewart finishing 8th. I think he still has one more top 10 than us, but we got another win. We got both of our sponsor bonuses of winning a race and qualifying on the pole. Field had no chance. No, they did not. And we're back in the points lead for the first time since Talladega, so that's good. Actually, the first time since Martinsville, sorry. Honestly, Tony Stewart's led in points for more races than I have, even though I have 10 wins on the season now. 6 races till the shop edition, so we're not going to have to worry about that at all on this stream. Can't update anything in the garage until after Pocono. So we will go to Pocono. We'll take our best equipment. Engine power is going to be at an 82. And try to go for another new trophy. '83 overall car rating. Which is weird because I swear I used this same equipment in the last race. And it was an 82. At least I thought it was an 82. So having an 83 on this is a little weird, but hey, we'll see where it's at. So haven't won this race at Pocono yet. We did win the fall race here, so I'd like to think that I can win the spring race at Pocono as well. That thing went straight into turn 1. I didn't like that at all. Lap 1 wasn't going to be the quickest lap anyway. We weren't quite up to speed when we got to the start-finish line, so lap 2 is going to be the one we're going to have to count on in the first place. Having that curve through turn 2. I got to make sure I don't really do that much, though, in the race. Tires start to wear out. That curve's going to be a lot more violent. The car's definitely not going to want to stick there. This thing feels very tight. I don't know that I'm going to want to carry the speed needed. We'll see. A lot better through turn 1. It definitely feels tight. I'm scared to loosen it up, though, but I also think that it's going to get too tight in the long run. We'll see where I qualify. I'm going to have to loosen this thing up a little bit. It's way too tight. .679. It is still a pole position. And I definitely feel like it was my fastest lap I've ever ran here. Qualified on the pole by a 10th. I mean, I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I really wanted to loosen it up a little bit, but I mean, who's to say it's not going to free up over the long run? I just hope it doesn't get tight in the long run because it felt very snug, but it's quick though. I just don't know that I can hold the corners low enough to keep cars behind me, especially off the start here. That's what's going to be interesting is turn 1, lap 1. We're not going to be up to speed into the first turns. Maybe that'll help me turn a little bit more. Vlad 1771, thanks for tuning in. Free multiplayer weekend once in a while. I had no clue. Yeah, I usually never play online. When we had a competent game on NASCAR Heat 5, we were playing that online. You know, probably once or twice a month. Just kind of get back to you guys, the fans. But then NASCAR 21 Ignition happened, and that game sucks. So I still, unfortunately, in the middle of the final season on there. I have all the stuff saved. Whenever I decide to go back to it. Sounds like something maybe we'll try to finish up during the off season this year. Potentially. I mean, there's no NASCAR game next season, so I guess I have a whole nother year to try to finish it. That iRacing NASCAR game doesn't come out until 2025. I think Tony Stewart's starting 11th. So starting outside the top 10. We do have a narrow points lead over him. Actually, no, he starts on the outside of row 7 or 8, it looks like. Row 8 maybe, so it looks like 16th or worse is where Tony Stewart's starting. That's good for us. Quickly clear the 23. Kenny Wallace. Kurt Busch going to try to take him 3 wide into turn 1 back there. I did a great job making sure I was going to pull up immediately. The car stuck on the bottom of turn 1, which was good. Wasn't really doing that qualifying much. See, a little slide like that is fine. Got through turn 2 really well. Just going to make sure it's not going to drive straight through turn 1 and turn 3. Especially turn 1 with that being the highest speed corner on the racetrack. 1 second ahead already. That Kenseth up to second. 213 miles an hour into turn 1 with no draft. Got back in the gas a little too soon there. Somebody blew an engine and made it to pit road already. I said it at the end of last night's stream. These first 3 races of tonight's stream, we were going to be trophy hunting. Trying to win 3 different trophies that I don't have in the case yet. .215 into turn 1. I wonder it's not sticking to the bottom that well when I'm carrying that much speed into the corner. I don't know that I've ever had a car that's gone that fast in this game. That might be a new record. I mean, look at it. Even 208 into the tunnel turn. That is wild. With no draft. Imagine how fast it would be in the draft. Junior up to second. He's 2.7 seconds off the lead. Backing off a little early into turn two. I could probably start backing it off a little early into turns one and turns two. I know it's not a massive lead, but I don't want to risk blowing an engine like I did at California yesterday. The late going. I lifted way early. I hit about 209 that time before I started to lift. I definitely rolled through the corner a lot easier, maybe saving my tires a little bit by doing that too. Learn from our mistakes. Big slide getting into turn two. It's another thing, I gotta hope these tires don't wear out too terribly. A pretty big slide in tunnel turn that last time. And we only got to make it 10 laps, split this thing in half. A 4.1 second lead. Yeah, the stream might be over before the game starts tonight. Pretty close to it, at least. It's on TNT. I'll be watching it. Should be a good one, too, against Pittsburgh. It's always a fun matchup to watch. It always gives me those 2007, 2008 Stanley Cup final vibes. Especially when you consider the fact that Sidney Crosby's still playing in the league. All the Wings players from that generation are retired. I don't know that there's anybody even still in the league that played on those teams, to be completely honest, for Detroit. I don't think we had Jordan Tutu yet at that point. Tar was a little after that. Actually, he was a lot longer after that. Get to hear the well, that's if they score. You say that now, and then we're gonna get shut out. I'm not gonna lap all the cars. That have pitted at least. I don't want to pit quite this early. Definitely not going to run it long with not pushing extra hard, especially into turn one. Just trying to make sure I'm not going to blow an engine in this race. We have made it to lap 10. Still 6.3 seconds ahead of Dale Jr. Honestly, considering nobody's really catching me from behind on their fresher tires, I think I am going to stay up just a couple laps. I don't want the tires to get too extremely old, but a little draft up to 31. Man, I was not expecting to catch him in the middle of turn 3 like that. It's all right, 10 to go. Yeah, I figured 2-2 was pretty long after that. Big power slide into 3. 8.7 seconds ahead of Dale Jr. All right, I'm definitely pitting this time. Probably go one more lap on fuel, but that's all right. We've pushed it a little long enough. Let me get fresher tires back on this thing. We shouldn't have to deal with live traffic at all the rest of the race. Going a little too deep getting into 3. Just got to make sure I don't speed. And I did not. Perfect. All right. 4 tires and gas. Blues hosting the Pens on Saturday. Yeah, Detroit played Pittsburgh twice last year at like the very end of the season. In the last couple weeks. Oh no. Almost forgot a lug. Wow. Slow pit stop. 19.2, I think it was. And that's going to cost us the lead temporarily, at least. There goes Matt Kenseth. I think it was Kenseth. Yeah, so we are not leading anymore. We do have fresher tires on him, though. But, yeah, very slow pit stop by the pit crew. Kind of flatline the entry to turn 2 there. Plenty of time to get around him. 7 laps is a long time at this racetrack. Oh, that's not Kenseth. That's Jeff Gordon. I was like thinking it was Matt Kenseth for. A bit of draft off of him. Breaking way early because I knew I was going to enter pretty fast in the corner. All things considered, that was pretty good. 215 miles an hour. Jeff Gordon did not lead that last lap at the line either. And he's trying to block, but there's no chance he's going to hang on. Got a much faster car, much fresher tires. Now we're out in front. We'll have 6 to go this time by. Jeff was about a half a lap away from actually getting the lead today. I'm already 1.3 seconds ahead of it. Yeah, there's no sense in pushing this thing as hard as possible and risk blowing a motor like we did at California. I will say the RPMs, they're only really cranking in turn 1. When I get later into a tire stint, they're not really cranking in turn 2. And honestly, if I back turn 1 up enough, I'm not even really hitting 9,000 RPM into turn 2 even when I try to push as hard as I can. So definitely keeping the RPMs down a little bit better here. Just got to make sure I do that at Michigan too if I get to the lead early. The problem is I got to get out early, stay in front, manage a decent gap. I'll pick closer to halfway in case I have a bad stop like I did here in this race. Because the less I have to push it, the better. 4 to go. Almost put it in the wall there. Got into the corner. I didn't think it was going to stop sliding. That time it just shoved straight up the track. 3 to go. 5.4 ahead of Gordon. Johnson slowly closing in on him. He might get there. I honestly think he will. Two to go. Honestly, just based off of pure raw straightaway speed in this one with the 80 engine power. It's kind of carrying me the distance most of the way in this race as it is. White flag, 1 to go. And we will head to Michigan. Try to get my first career win at my home track. First career spring/first summer Pocono win. Both Pocono trophies now. Gonna start this stream 2 for 2. And hopefully Michigan goes well. Career win number 37, I do believe. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah! It is a hot start. Got 11 wins on the season. I'm coming for Richard Petty's record. Give me 27. It's going to take to the last stream to get there regardless. More than likely, even if I were to win like every single race leading up to that point. I doubt that that's going to happen. All right. I will say the Eagle Trophy now looks way better than it used to. That that Spring Pocono Trophy always a classic. Oh, well, I think that's the only one they have now that they only have one race there. Runner 2-2 joined in 2013 in lockout. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot that was the lockout season. It didn't start until like after the new year. That was a weird year. All right, got a 72-point lead over Tony Stewart. It mind boggles me. I have as many wins as I do, and Tony Stewart's still that close to the point standings. 9 poles, 11 wins to Stewart's one. Dale Jr.'s got two. That's it for wins this season. And three more top fives than Tony Stewart, Dale Jr. with 12. 12 top 10s. Stewart still has one more top 10 than us. My average starts at 5.3, which is awesome. Average finish 6.9, nice. And I think last season I had a 7.5. Let me check that. Yeah, 37 career wins. Average start last year was a 6.0, so slightly better in that category. 6.8 at the end of last season. It was a 6.5, I remember at one point. But look at how we jumped from 21.8 average finish to a 6.8 to win the championship. Like, what a huge spike. Would have thought we would have went from 5 wins to 20. Just like that. 158 career starts already. That's crazy. We are already in episode 27. Did not take long. All right. So we've got road course chassis, engine, body ready to go for Sonoma in 2 races. Overhaul one of the speedway stuff. So we'll overhaul this. Actually, yeah, we are going to have to overhaul it, but it's going to actually have to be a super speedway to get that ready for Daytona. So 2 race overhaul on the engine there. We'll do the same thing with the chassis. Overhaul the worst. Turn it into a super speedway one. Chassis I'm using is already the latest in technology. All right, well, still gonna need it for Daytona. So we'll overhaul this one for a super speedway. And the body. All right. On to Michigan. First of 2 Michigan races on the season. Can I finally win at my home track? Took nearly 5.5 seasons. If I can get it done. And be 5 wins in a row, too. Getting back to the last 2 on the stream yesterday and the first 2 of this stream today. I have an 82 overall race car. Let's get another trophy, but I really want to win this race so badly. "24 game win streak in the MLB show." I don't even know what my longest streak was. I know I broke the record. First time I was trying to go for it, I think I got to like 20 and then I lost. And then I ended up making it pretty far before the next loss. I definitely got into the 30s. I'd have to go back and look at it. I still got to finish my franchise mode that I started. I was just doing that one season. I was playing the full season. I got to September, and I haven't played it in a few weeks. Football started, and I've been playing Madden 06 ever since. I got to go back and finish that at some point. All right. First on lap 1. We're going to be even quicker on lap 2. Definitely going to have to watch the RPMs in the race. That is wild that I was first on the first lap. Give me that new track record. I'm pushing hard in qualifying. I want the fastest lap possible. I can't push this hard in the race, though. Come on. .173, an easy pole at Michigan. Can we get an easy win? Fastest lap, new track record. 0.5 of a second. I out-qualified Michael Waltrip. Let's go. Yeah, I was playing off stream. Mine was on MLB The Show 2021. 21. World Series predictions. I mean, granted, the championship series already started. I would have said the Astros and the Phillies, but man, the Rangers are just hot right now. I don't know. Winning 2 of them in a row on the road at Houston. Now they go home for 3, and they only have to win 2 of them. You know, I would probably say the Rangers, but Astros on paper are the better team. But I mean, the Phillies and the Rangers are just examples this year of getting hot at the right time. Same roster as real life. So actually, with 21, I didn't even play with the actual Tigers roster from that season. I did a draft. My team's absolutely stacked. I just went for like one season. I didn't plan to do more than one season, so I have a lot of older guys on my team. I think I only have like 2 guys in my starting 9 in the batting order, in the typical starting 9 that are under the age of 30. they're all older. I definitely would be hurting in the future, but like even a lot of the guys I drafted, like AAA wise, they're all like older too. You know, when you have Carlos Santana and AAA Toledo, you got a stacked team. I usually try to call him up if there's any injuries, give him another bat in the lineup. AJ Pollock is down there, I think, too. Like, that would never be the case in real life. All right. Green flag in the air. We should have the fastest car here. We've got to take care of our equipment. Never get good launches at Michigan either. And I gave up the bottom. I'm all right if one car gets around me. Or 2. We'll loose up there on that outside at the lift. Bobby Labonte blocking. All right, Kurt's going to lead lap 1. Side draft Sadler a little bit. I'll break him into turn 1. Have to stick. We're up to 2nd. All right, come back here, Kurt Busch. Oh, no. Overdrove it trying to get around him. Wow, Could have been bad. I don't know how neither one of us hit the wall. Not been a clean race for me. Flying through 3 and 4, though. Look at the run I had. Quickly got back into P2. Bobby Labonte's out in the lead now. Definitely seem to be a little better in 3 and 4 than what I am in 1 and 2. Pushing the RPMs a little hard, but I got to get to the lead. I haven't lit a lap yet. Oh, Labonte led that lap too. By 21 thousandths of a second. Prime position, trying to get around him into turns 1 and 2. There we go. I didn't slide up the track like I did when I tried to pass Kurt Busch in that same spot. There we go. Now we got to run away from these guys. Not crank those RPMs up too high, too. Corey Freed, Esteban Tobar, Sosa, thanks for tuning in. This is the race I wanted to win so badly coming into the stream tonight. Let's see if we can do it. I'm clearly pulling away right now. Kind of a slow start. Qualified on the pole by quite a bit, but it still took a handful of laps before I finally led. But now we're in the lead. We're pulling away. Saw Dale Jr.'s up to second. .2 seconds ahead of Dale Jr. Trying to keep the RPMs down below 9,000. And to push really hard those first 5-6 laps. Taking a little bit to get to the lead. Want anything from McDonald's? I actually got a large iced coffee on my way home from work from McDonald's today, so if it's our sponsor, I'm supporting my sponsor today. .7 seconds ahead of Dale Jr. still. Watching that RPM gauge. All right, halfway home. As much as I want to lead the most laps in this race too, main focus is we've got to get this win just because I've never won here before. Tried to read your guys' comments. Sorry for that. It's hard to do with this game. I don't really drink coffee much. Iced coffee, a little refreshing after a day at work. Make sure I'm ready to go for the stream. I just don't want to seem like I'm like drowsy and tired during the streams on my work nights. Slide those tires quite a bit. I'm gonna pit this time. Don't speed. All right, 4 tires and gas, no adjustments. We've made it this far. Quite a few drivers staying out longer than us, but just a little bit past halfway. We're only going to have 8 laps to go. Oh no, the Jackman. That was a hard slam on his knee. I hope he had knee pads on. That hurt me watching that. He bounced off his left knee. Like bounced and landed back on it again. I'd like to think he has knee pads in general, considering the knees are on the asphalt. I think I'm still going to get out in front of those guys. My lead's not going to be anywhere near as big as it was, though. Still trying to get up to speed yet, but Bobby Labonte's coming. I don't know exactly that I'm going to cycle out in front of all the cars. They're still making their way to pit road. It's forcing me to have to push a little harder for a few laps to get out to a big lead. Just with that Jackman making that mistake. I'm still going to have to feather it a little bit. We're going to beat Dale Jr. in the middle of the corner. He's still going to get up to speed. Labonte should get to second. Dale Jr. is going to have a one lap fresher tire than me. I got to do it, though. I still got to have to back off because to first make it to the end, you first have to make it. And again, we blew an engine in California on a bigger, faster intermediate track. And that was a 2-mile track, very similar to here at Michigan. I don't know that Dale Jr. is going to really catch Bobby Labonte in enough laps. Only 5 laps to go at the line this time. Dale Jr.'s 3.3 seconds back. He was in second, too, before he pitted. I'm not worried about Bobby Labonte. Definitely a little bit worried about where Dale Jr. is going to be, but... Four to go. Dale Jr. is only a 10th quicker than me that last lap. We've got a good pace. Three to go. Come on. 3.4 ahead of Dale. Whoa. Flatline the corner there. It's all right. We're in good spot. Good spot. Two to go this time by. All right, took 5 seasons, 9 races in my career at Michigan. White flag in the air, 2.6 second lead, 3.5 to Dale Jr. We're finally going to win at MIS. Let's go. Well, the only track I still have to win at yet is Bristol. Still got to win the next Michigan race to get that other trophy, but we got this one. Let's go. 38 career wins. And it took 38 tries, or 38 race wins before I finally got one of those wins right here. Oh my goodness. I'm burning it to the ground in this one. Burning it till she blows. There she goes. Didn't burn it in the race, but definitely meant to burn it in the victory celebration. All right. Finally. Talk to you guys on Zoom. Speak with me in a video conference? Sounds important. 20-piece McNugget. I'm not a big chicken nugget guy. More of a tenders guy than a nugget guy. But even still, like, I'd say I'm more of a chicken sandwich guy than anything if it comes to chicken. From, like, fast food places. I've never really been into chicken nuggets a whole lot. Personally, I think McDonald's chicken nuggets, some people might take this the wrong way, but I think they're a little overrated. As somebody that used to work there, there's better chicken nuggets at a lot of other fast food restaurants, in my personal opinion. A lot of people love chicken nuggets from McDonald's, but I think it's a little overrated. I think as a kid, when you get the Happy Meal and stuff, and you get the chicken nuggets, that's like high up on the list. But a lot of people, not some, a lot of people carry that into their adulthood. I think they're overrated, personally. I should be speaking that poorly about my sponsor, though. Of oh, they're not my sponsor anymore. That was my last race with McDonald's. Better than Burger King's. I can't say I've tried Burger King's nuggets. I very rarely ever eat. Well, I did eat Burger King a lot. There was one right next to Sandusky Speedway, which is where I used to race a lot growing up. When I was racing quarter midgets, that was like the first track we went and actually raced like competitively at. When I was ready for that, when I was like 8 years old. But those first few seasons when we ran Sandusky and nowhere else, every weekend we would go there and race. And after the race was over, Burger King was right next to it. And there weren't a lot of places open past midnight if we ran late some nights. So we just got Burger King. And at that time, they always had the 2 for $5 with the original chicken sandwiches. So I'd always get an original chicken sandwich, 2 of them. Just get 2 sandwiches instead of like fries and stuff. And I always eat those late at night. That was our dinner after the races. Win or loss, we knew we were getting original chicken sandwiches from McDonald's. My grandpa always ate the same thing I did too, chicken sandwiches. Spent $10 for both of us to eat. Got 4 sandwiches between us. I ate a lot as a kid. I wasn't really like overweight much though. I was always tall and lanky. I was able to put away a lot of food, or what I thought was a lot of food. I mean, yeah, that's a lot in one sitting for a kid to eat, but when that's like all I ate all day, the reason why I was super skinny. I would think I'm eating a lot because I always ate a lot in one sitting, but I would only eat like once a day. Now I eat a lot more, and it doesn't feel like it because I don't really eat full meals anymore. But I've eaten so much throughout the course of the day to get my calorie intake up. It's hard for me to eat full meals anymore. All right, well, enough of that. On to Sonoma. After we signed a new sponsor, I kind of want McDonald's back on the car again. Can I re-sign with McDonald's? Sterling Marlin. We could sponsor Sterling Marlin after his finish top five, qualified top five. That's kind of funny. Sterling Marlin checking. I forgot that ride's open though. The race at Ganassi in the 40. I just find it funny how it says Sterling Marlin down. It's the Coors machine, but I mean I know it doesn't pay as much as these other two, but I think we need to keep McDonald's on the car. We've had a lot of good luck with them, so let's do that. We're sticking with McDicks, and we're gonna win them another championship this year. The way things are going. Monty Jones, thanks for tuning in. What about Taco Bell? I don't honestly, of all the fast food places, I probably least prefer Taco Bell. And the only reason is because I do like Taco Bell, or at least did. The problem with it is anytime I found something that I like would kind of go and I'd get and I keep going back, like that would bring me back to going to Taco Bell again. They always take it off the menu. And it's not like I'm going after something that's like limited time only and I'm not reading the fine print. Like I used to have their cheesy potato burritos all the time. It was like my favorite. They got rid of it. I'm like, oh, well, that stinks. Let me start getting double steak quesadillas and they get rid of that. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? What else did I get after that? I think, I always got their like Supreme Nachos or whatever. Like there was a specific one that I got, and then they got rid of that. I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm just gonna stop going there. I haven't gone there ever since. They always take what I want off the menu. I can't remember if they have uh, uh, cheesy rice and beef burritos. I think I used to get those at one point, then they took that off the menu too. Like they're always taking stuff off the menu that I like. Their breakfast burritos are still pretty good, but yeah, as far as like, and I haven't had that in probably. I think the last time I had the breakfast was when I went to Cedar Point, and it's been like 5 or 6 years since I've been to Cedar Point. So I couldn't take Budweiser; that wasn't an option. Here in my food, what from you talking about Taco Bell or Burger King? Not that I can remember. Though I can remember vividly. I'll talk about it as I'm getting this set up, so I'm not wasting too much time here. Um, get the road course equipment ready to go. We'll have overhauled road course chassis, engine, and body. And we'll try to go for our second career win at Sonoma. Got an 81 overall car rating. It's actually the worst of the night of these first four races. The only time I can ever remember hair, like specifically, like noticeably on my food when I was at like a restaurant or something. So there was this like kind of like in quotations underground Chinese restaurant. It was like underground, but it was like a local like Chinese restaurant in this town close to where I live, like 10 minutes away from where I live. And it was a buffet. So it was like a China buffet or Chinese buffet, but they sold like a lot of American food there too. So it was like Chinese, like they had some Chinese food. It was very like low budget. It was a very low budget Chinese um, buffet restaurant, and the only time I could ever remember having hair in my food, they had like chicken wings, and without really looking, I put like two. They were like drumsticks. It wasn't wings. They were like drumsticks. There were two chicken drumsticks. I put it on my plate, and I was a kid because that place isn't even open now. And actually, I'll tell the rest of the story after that. So go back to the original story. Put the two chicken wings on my plate. Didn't really notice anything. I got to my plate, and thank goodness I did not take a bite into it. But I could see it on my plate. There was hair. like all over. It was like tethered into the chicken. I kid you not. Like there was just hair. And there's you can imagine like fried chicken, like a drumstick, and then there's just like hair tethered to it. It wasn't like it was one strand or a couple strands of hair. It was like it's like somebody took like a I don't know. It's like somebody like when they were frying it around the rotisserie that there was like hair like in the rotisserie, a hairnet. There was like a hairnet in the rotisserie. And it just caught the hairnet and just started rotisserating the chicken with the hair. Like it was tethered into it. Ever since then, I never ate there again. I didn't even eat the rest of that night. I lost my appetite when I saw that. I mean, who wouldn't? Like when you see that, it's like, what else is wrong with this place? And then like a couple months later, they ended up failing a health inspection, and they had to close down temporarily. And then they opened back up again, and then they ended up failing inspection a second time, and they shut down for good. So I don't know that that place is up and running again after that, but yeah, they failed multiple health inspections. And I don't think any of it had to do with the hair in my food, to be completely honest. We didn't even say anything to the people that worked there. It was just kind of like, we should have. I mean, in hindsight, you should be like, hey, this is unacceptable. Like, what is this? I'm so glad I noticed that before I ate. But, yeah. And it was like my second, like, plate, not of chicken, but I had already eaten before that. So I'm like, all right, yep, I had enough to eat. Tethered, rotisserie hair chicken. That's what that was. Yeah, I mean, it's one thing you find a hair in your food. It's another thing when you find just mounds of hair in your food. Like it was. I'm not gonna say it was more hair than chicken, but there was a lot of hair in there. There was a lot of strands of hair in that chicken. Disgusting. So just know when you go to these low budget low budget Chinese buffets, just know that I'm not saying there's gonna be hair in your chicken necessarily, but make sure you check the food before you eat it, because it might not always be the cleanliest. All right, on the pole. That's Sonoma. Yeah, it was like that. It was like that much hair. Like when you have like hair in your drain, it was like that much hair in the chicken. I kid you not. Like it was. There was a lot of hair. That's a good analogy to describe how much hair was in the chicken. The chicken was just clogged with hair. Both of them were. I would imagine the whole batch was like that. You know, it almost makes me wonder. Like, I wonder if it was from the chicken. Like, was it like chicken feathers that was in it, or was it legitimate like hair? Where did they get it from? It was nasty. Milk tasting like glue at the school. Was it Elmer's milk? Can you imagine if that was a thing? All right, quick start. Quick, clean start, nonetheless. Always race better here than at Watkins Glen. Feels more competitive, but I mean, just from like a raceability standpoint, I feel like I put together a lot cleaner laps. Jeff Gordon just straight up passed me. Could I push it a little harder into the hairpin? Yes, but he definitely straight up passed me. Try to get him back. Turn 11, got him back. We're going to lead the first lap. Almost pulled a Denny Hamlin to hit that wall. Well, Jeff Gordon was competitive for one lap. We always see cars short pit here on lap 2 or 3, so I'd imagine we may see some drivers pit this time, either this time or the next time. I think last season when I won here, we actually got a caution middle of the race, which I might want to short pit just in case we get a caution. I'd hate to put myself in traffic, but now that I remember, yeah, we did have a caution last season when we raced here. No NASCAR Hall of Famer Matt. I mean, not personally. I know he's in the Hall of Fame. Yes. How could I not? Watch Matt Kenseth like my whole childhood, pretty much. He's always racing. My childhood generation of NASCAR drivers. I think we're going to pit this time by because I'm starting to catch the back of traffic of those who pitted. I'd like to not have to deal with traffic at all. It's going to slow my lap time up a little bit. Trying to work around them, so even though they're on fresher tires, the car's at the very back of the pack. So. All right, gonna pit this time. Not sure where the commitment line's at. There it is. I didn't want to speed going into the pits because I wasn't sure exactly where it was at. 4 tires and gas, no adjustments. Well, it's going to be a few years before Harvick's going to be eligible for the Hall of Fame. Problem with milk tasted like glue. Not that I can remember. I never got school lunches growing up. I was always one of the kids that had a packed lunch. My mom, for a long period of time, at least during my childhood, the first school I went to when I was in elementary school, she was the lunch lady. So that time I did get school lunches. But then when I moved to the town, I ended up staying in the rest of my, my childhood into my early adult life. There was I never really ate their school cafeteria. Once I got into like 6th grade, my mom was working at this meat market, so we'd always get like lunch meats, like free like sandwich lunch meat. So I always had a sandwich for lunch all the time. Always had something for sandwiches because it was free. It was very affordable. I could eat as much as I wanted. So yeah, one week I'd have salami, another week I'd end up having like ham or turkey or bologna. There was always something. So I still to this day I eat a lot of deli sandwiches. Never really grew over the taste of it. I haven't eaten any from there in a long time, but yeah, I always had that though. So I never really bought a lunch. growing up. Oh boy. These cold tires getting a little squirrely in the S's. I mean, I couldn't have cycled in more cleaner air. The fact that I'm ahead of everybody that obviously pitted already, but I haven't caught the back of the pack of cars that did pit. That was a perfect time to pit. I would have probably caught lap traffic that next lap at some point. So I pitted, and now we've got clean air and fresh tires. And we should be able to just run hard, and then once they all pit again, we'll cycle back out in front of them. Probably end up catching these guys next lap. Unless some of them pit this lap, which isn't impossible, but that could be the case. It's 2 laps in a row. I haven't gotten through the S's very well. That time I just pushed it too hard. Lap before that, it was a little squirrely getting through there. Alright. Catch one of these guys down in turn 11. Clean pass there. For 198. Oof. Jesus. So much quicker in the middle of the corner than these guys. Much fresher tires, and they're so slow as it is anyway. Catching them way quicker than what I'm thinking I'm going to. Gonna have quite a few cars pitting this time. Sadler quickly. And into the braking zone through turn 10. Get by the 2. Maybe not. Oh, man. I had to brake there. It was either brake or eat that concrete wall. And I chose to brake. Ryan Vickers in the Penske number 2. Bologna guy? Yeah, me too. That's probably my favorite. Fried bologna sandwiches, can't beat it. Can't beat a good fried bologna sandwich. Mayonnaise, mustard, fresh lettuce. Tomato, but not on the, only on the fried bologna sandwiches, not on the cold. For me, at least. Usually, if there is tomato on it, I don't put mustard on it either. That's like my substitute. If there's mustard on it, no tomato. Tomato if there's no mustard. All right, the last of the leaders are on pit road right now, so we'll get back to the point. Push a little wide there. And there. Well, that corner kind of undercut it a little bit. So Pitted coming to lap 6, so we should still lead the most laps. Leading these final two. Massive lead. And it looks like we're actually going to go caution-free in this Sonoma race, which is the first time in a few races. I know the last 2 races here we had cautions. But no cautions today, it appears. Unless we get one before we get to the white flag. No cautions on the final lap in this game. One to go this time by. $11 seconds ahead of Jimmy Johnson. How about Michael Waltrip third on a road course? What? Michael Waltrip's third at Sonoma? And 2 more races left on the stream. Daytona and then Chicagoland. There we go. 4th career road course win. Number 38 on the career in total. Or sorry, 39. So our next win will be career win number 40. So got a chance to get career win number 40 at Daytona in our next race. Let's go. Can never get tired of doing burnouts. All the rubber on the grill. No damage though. Never get tired of winning. This is a long career mode that we're going through. It. You guys might be thinking like, it's kind of getting boring. You're winning a bunch of races now. There's records to be broken. All right. To break Richard Petty's record for the most wins in a single season is going to be tough because I don't win every race. And the fact that we have to win all but 8 of them to break that record, it's tough. We're on pace, though. We've only had 3 races we haven't won. And I would like to think with doing so, we should be able to win a championship out of that if we can break that record. And there's still racetracks I haven't won at. Well, just one racetrack, but specific races that I haven't won at. I won the Pepsi 400, not last season, but the season before. Last year we DNF'd in this race, so tried to go 3 for 3 on the super speedways this season. I've never qualified on the pole at Daytona, so let's see if we can do that in this race. We'll have overhauled equipment ready to go for this super speedway event as well. We'll have 2 more races, then we'll have a new chassis, body, and engine built. As far as the overhaul goes, we can take the super speedway equipment. Well, actually, take the road course equipment, excuse me. Take the road course equipment, overhaul it, get a Speedway chassis going there. 2 races. Of course, overhaul. 2 races. Overhaul Speedway 2 races. I have 3 more races left on the shop edition. All right. Pepsi's your favorite soda brand. I mean, we were kind of talking about this last night, I think it was, during the Coke 600. Or no, it might have been last season. I remember talking about it on stream before that I was more of a Coke fan. I thought something looked weird on the car. What do we need sponsorship? We need an associate sponsor and a team sponsor to sign on with. All right, so associate sponsor, finish ahead of Tony Stewart, ranked first in points. Napa does pay out a little bit more for that. I'd like to keep McDonald's on the car. Beating Tony Stewart's kind of a weird sponsor for that. Team sponsor. We'll go with McDonald's for the team sponsor. Is this whole car going to be sponsored by McDonald's? Yes. Okay. For that reason alone, we'll go with this associate sponsor. And we do beat Tony Stewart more often than not. I know ranked first in points is probably more guaranteed. That's okay. Now we just have to worry about beating Tony Stewart, which is kind of the case for the championship anyway. Like McDonald's Oreo McFlurry, I don't really eat sweets, so I mean, I don't think I've ever had it, honestly. I'm trying to remember a time where I would have had ice cream at McDonald's. I don't remember ever eating that, even when I worked there, because we'd only have select things that were like free for us to eat. I ate a lot of their cookies before I cut sweets out of my diet, before my working out days. Like Subway, oh yeah, I go to Subway, not like regularly, but probably more often than I do any other like fast food. If you consider Subway fast food, I guess you would consider it. It's probably the healthiest alternative for fast food. There's some shops in general, just because you can make whatever. All right, on to Daytona. Make sure we bring the super speedway equipment to Daytona. Obviously. 82 car rating. Let's qualify on the pole for the first time here, please. I have seen Talladega Nights. It's been a while since I've actually watched it from start to finish, though. Used to have lunch detention. Yeah, I never had that problem. I was always a good kid. Never had detention. Went my whole life without ever having to serve detention for anything. Call me goody two shoes, whatever you want, but never had detention. I think I was the only one in my friend group that never had one. I only had like 3 or 4 friends in high school, but 23rd on lap 1. Give me the pole, please. Never qualified on the pole at Daytona. I know it's not the 500, but still like to see if we can get it done. 13 minutes till puck drop. And about the end of this race. We'll have one more race at Chicagoland on the stream yet. Give me that pole. Pole and a sponsorship bonus, please. Let's go. First career pole, 47.634. First career pole at Daytona. Clarify that a little bit. 0.3 of a second. Let's go. About time. Took 10 qualifying attempts at Daytona before we finally qualified on the pole here, but we got it. I just got to do it for the 500 at some point. We're going to win 8 races in a row if I win these last 2 on this stream. Won 6 consecutive races. This, I would like to think this is going to be an easy one for 7, unless we have a wreck mid-race, because we did last time and I got caught up in it. I DNF'd, so it is a super speedway after all. Well, puck drop isn't right at 7:30. I think it's a few minutes after. I know the game coverage starts at 7:30. If we want to get technical, like 5 to 10 minutes after that. I'll still end up missing the very start of it. I should probably catch the end of the first period onward, though. Just in time for me to eat dinner and watch some hockey tonight. Let's go. Probably find a bet on the game during the game. Catch the flow of it first. I'm trying to stay away from betting on hockey early in the season until everything kind of gets like figured out throughout the year. It's not a big sample size because you always get like bad teams that start off hot out of nowhere, like Detroit the last several years. They're supposed to be better this year, but they're always. Last year they started off kind of slow, but when they were like in the middle of their tanking period or rebuilding period, there for 3-4 seasons in a row, like they would always start off hot the first dozen games before they would actually cool off and play subpar hockey. All right. I think I've qualified on the pole every race of this stream so far, 5 for 5. I don't know if I've done that or not before. I think I might have done that once. Great launch. Try to lead as many laps as possible. We know the drill. Probably pit at lap 6 just to be safe for fuel. So lap 6, lap 11 or 12, and make it to the end from there. Don't pit before lap 11. Probably going to burn a little bit more fuel leading the pack. Jeff Gordon hopped to the outside and nobody went with Harvick and Dale Jr. just trained around him. All right, going to lead the first one. First of many. I'm half tempted to try starting last at Chicagoland in the last race of this stream and make it a little difficult on myself to try to go for the clean sweep on the stream. I think I'm going to do it because we should win this as long as we don't get a caution. And as long as my blocks aren't stupid. but I trust myself. I'd like to get that round number win, get career win number 40 at Daytona. No, it's not the 500, but their fourth career win at this racetrack, or second career Pepsi 400 potentially. Kind of stinks I didn't win this race last season, but I'm in a good spot. I also remember qualifying much worse for this race last year because for some reason I used my short track stuff because I didn't have super speedway equipment for this race, so I didn't have speed at qualifying. Qualified like outside the top 30. Kind of made my way into the top 10 after that first swing of stops before I got caught up in the wreck. So luckily, it's qualifying on the pole and staying ahead of the incident if we see one again. As long as I'm not the one getting ran over coming into the pits or something stupid like that. Which I don't think. We usually don't have a problem with that. We'll break that draft a little bit. We know the drill when we come onto pit road, we'll go right sides only. That's some cars pitting already, lap 4. It's way earlier than usual. Seeing drivers hit pit road. I wanted to make sure I went one more lap before pitting. Make it to lap 6 so we can ensure to make this on 2 stops. There are a lot of cars pitting way earlier in this race, so I'm kind of surprised. A lot of traffic getting up to speed. Hopefully, I can get to the bottom at the end of the backstretch. Should easily be able to do that. Found a perfect hole. Right front just starting to wear right now. And we definitely made it on fuel all the way back around, so we'll pit this time. As planned, lap 6. And we've led every lap to this point, and we'll continue to lead. Right sides only. No, I don't plan on going to any more races this year. As much as I'd like to go to Phoenix again, I'm not going to. Especially if Blaney's not in the hunt for the championship. Which, now that he got his points, back, doesn't have to win one of the next 2 races. I still don't expect him to make it to the championship 4, but you never know. Well, as long as we stay green these last 9 laps, it's going to be an easy 40th career victory. Yeah, I'm definitely going to start last at Chicagoland, try to see what I can do there. I'm going to be sacrificing my qualifying bonus, obviously, but McDonald's is happy with me. We're sponsoring them all the way around this race car right now, so I'm sure they'll live with it. We'll still be happy as a sponsor as long as I'm leading in points and still winning races for them. That's all that matters in the end. 8 to go. Another race for Tony Stewart's not in the top 5. Michael Waltrip could get back-to-back top 5s. Who would have thought he'd finish third at Sonoma like he did? Obviously, Daytona, the bread and butter racetrack for DEI and for him, so it shocked me he's in the top 5 in this one. We can go to Martinsville next year. I'm going to go to Martinsville or Kansas. Yeah, Martinsville's a cool track. A little leery with that, just with how the next gen car races. From a pure racing standpoint, you'll probably have a better time watching the race at Kansas. But I would like to go back to Martinsville again. It's just the short track package just sucks with the next gen car. I was scared when I went to Bristol this year, but Bristol's a multi-group track. Martinsville isn't, so I can trust Bristol. I can't really trust Martinsville. All right, so I'd like to pit at lap 12. Slow car down on the bottom of the track. I think somebody blew an engine, was trying to get to pit road there. I couldn't tell who it was. They did make it in, though. The cars had short pitted. Plenty more coming onto pit road right now. All these guys coming out of the pits right now, I don't know that they can make it to the end. Well, I mean, I guess if they finish a lap down, well, they're not going to because they're going to get their laps back once I pit. So, yeah, I'm not exactly sure why they're in that boat. But one more lap. All right, so left sides only. As we'll pit this time. Jeff Burton just came out of the pits. Now he's back in again. He probably was going to be short on fuel. That's why he pitted. 9.2. 4 laps to go. I guess there are going to be cars that are going to finish the lap down. Other than that, though, we'll have clean air to the end. Pace we're at right now, we'll get the 50 career wins on Friday then. Friday night's NASCAR Thunder 04 stream. Assuming we can win 9 of the next 12 races. Well, and that's also assuming we win Chicagoland starting from the back. I like our chances. 10-second lead over Jeff Gordon. Waltrip is still in the top 5. Dale Jr. is up to 3rd. 2 DEI cars up there. Saturday afternoon's game. Talk about the Red Wings. Yeah, more than likely. I don't even know what time the Wings game is. I know Michigan plays at night, so I'll definitely be able to watch the Michigan State-Michigan game. That'll be fun. Under the lights. First time in that series. Be playing at night. That'd be pretty cool. Two to go. I mean, they've had games finish in the dark, but that doesn't count. Dark at the start of it. Somebody slow on the front stretch. Making it to pit road. And quite a few cars that having to pit a third time because of when they pitted the first 2 times. It's kind of been going on over the last several laps. 1 to go. Dale Jr.'s up to second, just past Jeff Gordon that last lap. And it looks like Mark Martin's in the top 5. Michael Waltrip fell out of the top 5. Wonder if he was one of the cars that might have had to pit again. It's possible. Well, it's going to ruin his chances of getting back-to-back top 5 finishes. One o'clock. Oh, I'm definitely going to miss it. Truck race will probably be over about 2-ish, but the Xfinity race starts at 3. Catch some of it between games, but that's about it. Definitely going to end up missing that. All right, there we go. That's a win. The freaking crew team. Yay! Career win number 40. And our first ever Daytona sweep. We went super speedways a lot on this career mode, but first time we've ever swept Daytona. Won the Pepsi 400 2 seasons ago. Only the Daytona 500 last year. We won them both this year. Caution free and both definitely helped. Let's go. Let's go. Ends at 3. Well, if the game starts at 1, the game will probably be over at 3:30. They're usually about 2.5 hours. Regulation games, 2.5 hours, just less than 2.5 hours. But as scheduled, the Xfinity race starts at 3, so I definitely don't think the game's going to be over by then. And honestly, considering how long the truck race may potentially go, if I had to guess, that'll probably end anywhere between 2 and 2:30. I'll probably only be able to catch maybe half the game. Focus on trying to get some food between games for that one. All right, so I led all 16 laps. Went wire to wire twice in the stream. Dover and Daytona, leading every lap. Dominant wins in both. We'll make it a little more challenging on ourselves here at Chicagoland, and we're going to try to go for the win starting from last. No qualifying, no practice. I haven't practiced before a single race all season. We pretty much got the setups dialed in at this point. I checked out the point standings real quick. We are 175 points ahead of Tony Stewart, so just over 1 full race ahead of him. And he's about a full race ahead of Jeff Gordon between second and third as well. Got 12 poles, 14 wins, 15 top 5s, 15 top 10s. Tony Stewart still has 16 top 10 finishes, so he is still one ahead of me on that top 10s list, which is why he is still hanging around, second in points, though. But yeah, we're still going to make this a little tougher for ourselves here. We got nothing to do garage work-wise. Make sure we take our speedway equipment that we just used in Michigan and got a win there. We'll be using that in this race. Gives us an 81 overall car rating. Jameson Williams played the goal. I couldn't tell you who that is. The horn, the keeper of the horn. All right, we're just gonna hop into this. We're gonna make it tough on ourselves. We're gonna start at the back. Looks like Hendrick Motorsports locking out the front row. Johnson and Gordon. It's not a long race to do this either. The 400-mile race. We'll be fast, but how fast are we gonna be with how short this race is the question. As long as I get a top 10, I mean, I would like to win, but as long as we get a good finish out of it, it'll make for a good challenge. I would like to do this for every race during the season. It would be really hard to do that, though, with how short these races are. Start last and get the win every single time. Our equipment is really quick, but it'd be difficult. But I definitely plan on doing some fun stuff with this career mode along with trying to get our wins record. But this season, I want to get that wins record for most wins in a single season first before I think about doing anything else kind of interesting with it. This one may be hard to come by, but we'll see. Tony Stewart starting fourth. See if he can get up there, maybe lead some laps. When we have a chance to get up there. Definitely not going to lead the most laps, I'll tell you that much. Gordon Johnson. 28.985 for Jeff Gordon on his pole lap. Penguins are already up 1-0. That was quick. Might have well just dropped the puck in the net to start the game. Ricky Craven with another top 10 starting spot. It was Kenny Walls that was doing that consistently the first few seasons, and now the last couple seasons, it's been Ricky Craven. Got 26 laps. I think it was 21 for some reason. I don't know why, but 26. You're going to have to make some quick, clean passes. Don't hit that apron. I forgot this is a track you can't do that on. There's a lot of 3-wide racing back here. Four wide. We're 4. Down to 3 by the exit corner. I was trying to stay as low as I could and not make contact there. Oh, man. Trying not to run into the back of the 57 car getting through that corner. All right, if you're just going to block me there, I'm just going to go all the way down here. 57 car was giving me no room to get underneath unless following him for a couple laps, but he's still kind of holding me up. We were getting past a couple cars, and I'm starting to stall out there. Up the middle. Oh, I can't grip the outside lane. Got to get back down to the bottom. Carried some momentum off the top at least. Having a little too deep getting into turn 1 there. All right, well, we're up 25th. Kenny Wall started 10th. He's already back to 24th in like 4 laps. This 145 car also started in the top 10. What are these guys doing? All right, well, we're definitely moving. Commentary for NHL during the offseason. I mean, it'd be fun to do other sports, but that'd be something that maybe I'd consider for another channel, but not on the channel I have now. Kind of messed it up. Was it last winter I did some video game stuff on other video games? Not too many people really like that, which I don't blame them. I mean, this is an NASCAR-oriented channel. I'd like it to stay that way, but I've considered starting another channel. The problem is, monetization-wise, I wouldn't get any of it for a little while. I mean, it took me a year and a half to get monetized on this channel. So, and the thing that sucks with it is I wouldn't be able to do, the full season with it. And like my Green Bay Packers, for instance, Tom Grossi is big with live streaming like every Packers game on YouTube. So I don't want to make it feel like I'm commentating that. Although he doesn't do like realistic commentary throughout, his is more just solely fan based on that one. I'd be unbiased, but oh boy, sorry Jerry Nadeau. Oh boy, hang on to it. Overdrove it. Hopefully I can clear Kurt Busch before I get into 3. I did. All right, back down to the bottom. Well, we made it to the top 10 already. I haven't seen anybody pit, at least in front of me. Dang it. Sorry, Kenseth. Oh, he's ticked. Oh, boy. Hang on to it. Dang it, Kenseth got back around me. He might be pitting this time. Let him. There we go. Didn't have to worry about him hitting me. I clean air in front of me now. Picker's definitely going to have to be on it in this one. Just kind of got held up in that traffic in the back half of the top 10 there for a little bit. Just like contact with Ryan Newman. Driving it so hard, corner entry. I was doing that the whole race, but I've slid up the track a lot more getting into the corner the last 2-3 laps than what I was before because the tires are worn out. I've been pushing so hard trying to get through the traffic as is. A slide job on Harvick. Trying to cross me over. Nana! Let's go. All those guys I short pitted, though, I'm not gaining on them right now, obviously, with them having fresher tires. Right at the halfway point, so I'm going to be pitting this time. I don't want to waste any more laps. 4 tires and gas. Perfect pit road entry. All right. Pretty good start. Clean start. Haven't led yet. We need a quick stop. I mean, I appreciate that you would watch something like that. I'm so dedicated to this channel too. If I start something else, I would want to be dedicated to it. Like I would be able to stream probably during the week, but if I stream during the week there, I'm not going to be able to do these video game streams anymore with NASCAR stuff. I'm not going to be able to. I'd like to do, some Throwback Thursday streams again on the channel. Plan on getting those revamped again this off season. This is my baby. NASCAR is my dream. To work there at least. Where are we cycling? We're going to be pretty close to the lead. There's Mark Martin just coming out of the pits. We're going to get out ahead of him. We're slowly closing on Jeff Gordon. Martin's going to have a lap or two fresher tires than us. So we'll see if he'll run us down. I'd like to think we're going to build up enough of a lead here first. Got 10 laps to go. Still got some other cars coming out of the pits. Tony Stewart. All right. Battling Jeff Gordon for the lead. Sliding way up the hill. Really went for it there. First chance I had. Come on. You got the crossover? We're going to try a double crossover. We'll get him into one. Try not to slide up the track too much this time. There we go. That was better. We'll run away before Mark Martin or Tony Stewart have a chance of getting to us. We're definitely going to outpace Gordon. They're going to catch Gordon. I don't know if they're going to catch us or not. We'll see. I'd like to think my car's fast enough. Oh, we definitely made it harder on ourselves. We got through the traffic fairly cleanly, though. Tenths of a second ahead of Gordon. 6 to go this time by. I don't see Mark Martin or Tony Stewart catching us, to be completely honest. When we hit the back, still won it. I don't know that I would be able to do that for every racetrack, but definitely do it for this one. So it'll be career win number 41. 2.3 seconds ahead of Stewart, 5 laps to go. He passed Mark Martin. I think Tony Stewart is faster than us. I don't think he's going to be able to get to me, though. I don't think he's got enough laps. So I'm glad I got by Gordon when I did. He crossed me over that one time. Stewart's still in second. Stuck behind Gordon through 3 and 4 there. Don't be doing that. Definitely not going to have to worry about lap traffic, which is good. There we go. Stuck 3 and 4 a little bit better that time. So Stewart should be up to second now. 3 to go. He's 2.4 back. Curious to see what the interval time is going to look like when we get back to the line this time by. Two to go. I was actually 10th quicker than Stewart that last lap, so he got to second, but yeah, we definitely got out ahead. I think the tires have kind of evened out at this point in the run because he was closing interval-wise up until a lap or two ago. Not by much, obviously. Yeah, we're going to get the win. Pitted at the right time. Clean stop. And even with starting last, we're going to go out here. We're going to lead about 7 or 8 laps. We're going to get the win. With the lift there. No lap traffic to deal with. Made this final run to the checker a little easier for myself. Stress-free. We're going to sweep the stream. We won all 6 races this stream. This one was the toughest, but we got the job done nevertheless. Let's go. Dominant stream there. 3.2 second victory over Tony Stewart. Burn it down and Juliet. Yeah. There goes the engine. Thought I had a longer burnout in me, but I guess not. All right. Let's go. That's a dub. That's a dub. And we're going to grow that points lead out just a little bit more. In the Tropicana 400. Nice little win at Chicagoland. Led 9 laps. Jeff Gordon led the most, finished third. 14 laps led from the pole. Tony Stewart got to lead 1 lap, which was just enough for 5 bonus points at some point in the race. Started fourth. And might have been because he stayed out a little longer than Gordon and I on pit road, so that's probably why he was able to get out, lead a lap. So he only loses 5 points on me in the championship. We're going to have a 180-point lead to start the second half of the season tomorrow night at New Hampshire for our first New Hampshire race of the season. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. I will see you back and better than ever again next time. See you tomorrow night, everybody. Have a good rest of your Wednesday.